everyone, here I am in another video, and here I am still trying to find a good background. Now my computer is appearing on the screen. I'll probably cut it out. But today I decided to talk about Natalie Portman. Yeah, um, I wanted to start a series here on the channel called You Should Know Her. Where is the series? I'll be talking about strong humor, smart humor for you to inspire yourself in. And I have a list of women I'll be talking about here on the channel. And I decided to start this series with Natalie Portman because I noticed that TikTok is obsessed with her, especially when she was young. And I wanted to kind of get the hype. I wanted to kind of take the hype and also talk about it because many people don't know from where this obsession came for came for. And I think that knowing Natalie, you may understand a bit of why TikTok is so obsessed with her. So am I. So, well, I will be sharing with you some of my crazy fan side because I'm a great fan of Natalie Portman. She's one of my great inspirations in life, and I was named after her because when was born, Natalie was really, really popular because of Star Wars, because of other movies, and my parents they liked her name, and because of that, I got this name. My name is Natalie because of Natalie Portman. So thank you. Although it's not written from the same way because mine is the French written and hers is the traditional written. But anyway, Natalie Portman, she was born in June 9 of 1981. Yes, and she started her career at such a young age when I guess she was 12, if I'm right. And she started as a off-Broadway actress, but her first professional screen job were on Leon the Professional, which is a very popular movie and is really good movie. And look, the girl started her first movie acting aside with Gary Oldman, and I'm a great fan of Gary Oldman as well. And Natalie, she got such a solid career through his life. But fun fact, she didn't she almost were a model, but she refused the model job to be an actress. Yes. And she was called out to be a model, but she said, no, I want to be an actress. And that was when she started on Broadway. And after that, she got many other jobs, but because of Leon, the professional, she started to get many job opportunities related to some sexualized thing, unfortunately. But the girl, she was very mature and she declined all of that because she didn't want it to be sexualized. And even though she was a teenager, she already had that in mind that she didn't want it to be seen as a sex symbol. And because of that, she lost many opportunities. But she also had many scripts changed just because the directors they wanted her to be the main character. One example is Everywhere But Here. It's a movie that I watched recently. It would have a sexy scene, but since Natalie said no, if there would be a sexy scene or one act on this movie, they changed it just because they wanted Natalie. And that's why this girl was so fantastic. And she had many popular movies, but had mainstream debut was with Star Wars. She was already famous when she appeared in Star Wars Experiment, but it was the job that made her known worldwide, you know, and because Star Wars is such an important franchise, you know, and because of the movie, she got extremely popular around the world. But at the time, she was not getting many jobs, and I will explain why later. But she appeared in few movies in this meantime, and she focused more on plays, not so much on movies. And after that, right after Star Wars, she made a movie called Closer. I watched it, but it's not. I don't like the movie so much, but I have to rewatch it. And this movie is what made Natalie being criticized by the being not criticized. This movie made her more respected by the critics. Because of the movie, she won her first Golden Globes, and she also were indicated for the Oscars. Yes, but she only had the award when she played the Nina in Black Swan. That is what made Natalie actually the winner of the Oscars. Because of Black Sun is such an interesting movie, controversial, of course, but it's a movie that Natalie had to put a lot of effort to play in. She lost like 9 kilos for the movie, 20 pounds, if you're American. And she had to learn how to dance, and we had to admit her acting was amazing. And because of the movie, she also met her husband, but now it's her ex-husband, and she's with another guy, and she had a kid with this guy currently. But the husband in question, he's the father of her first two children, you know so Black Sun was very important, is a very important movie to Natalie. Because of that, she met the father of her children and also gave her an award. So you can see that Natalie is an amazing actress. She's extremely good. Since she was young, she was extremely respected as an actress. She always had a solid career, a career of great movies. It's really rare for us to see a movie of Natalie that is not, critical acclaimed. Most part of them, the critics love it. You know, she had many different movies from musical to, drama to rom-com. She has such an interesting career. If you want to get more into it, you see that she always she's always trying different characters. She's never the same character, and it's amazing. She's a she's an actress that is recognized by her job through many awards around the world, you know. So Natalie is a amazing actress. But now getting into why TikTok is so obsessed with Natalie is because when she was working on Star Wars, she was doing Harvard. She was at Harvard because she's has a bachelor's degree in psychology. Yes, the queen is really smart, you know. And she, as I said, she has a degree, undergraduate degree on psychology. But since the high school, she wrote a article with some of her classmates about sugar and how it's being caught in her body. Sorry, biology is not my main field, but she wrote this article, and I don't know if it won actually, but she received a prize indic- indication because of this article, because it's really important. And after that, she got into Harvard, and that's why she wasn't getting many um acting roles when she, like around 1999 and early 20s or early 2000s, is because she was at Harvard studying. And you can see many photos of her, literally studying at Star Wars set because she was at Harvard, you know. But you can see that she never stopped working this meantime. She only, like kind of a little bit decreased the amount of work, but after that she come back with all of the forces. Natalie is also very smart when it comes to language. She speaks 6 languages. Let me see if I remember. She speaks English, Hebrew, Arabic, French, German, and Japanese. Yes, the queen, she's really, really, really smart. And that's why people are obsessed with her because they say, man, she's a such famous actress, but she's smart. She's actually smart. And people started to get these motivational posts with her face because she turned out to be the face of the intellectual high achievement woman. That woman that is a good professional but is yet a smart woman. That is yet a intelligent, intellectual woman, you know? So that's why Natalie Portman, she's so respected by the internet because they're like, this girl is pretty because she is extremely pretty. She's such a good professional and she's also smart. That's so unfair. That's actually unfair. But many people take this as a motivation. If she managed if she managed to get there, I can as well. She literally was at Harvard while she was working at Star Wars, and she's also pretty, so I can do it as well. And there are many posters that are using her face to show this, and also not only because of Natalie itself, but also because of Black Swan. Many scenes in Black Swan, because Black Swan is a movie about perfectionism and uh, ambition, and also many people take that scenes as a motivation, and I think it's quite a questionable. But okay, I won't judge your motivation, but be aware, be careful about it, because perfectionism is not so good. I can say by myself. I will make a video about it later. But basically, many people take some scenes of Black Swan as a motivation. Like, I want to achieve my perfect side. I want to be perfect. And they take the Black Swan as a motivation thing, you know. And I forgot to mention, but Natalie also works in other fields. She also has a production business, and she already made some movies by this producer. I forgot the name, but anyway, May December is one of these movies. I watched this movie. I really liked it because it's inspired on a criminal case that happened in the United States, and I knew about this case some years ago, and I was like obsessed by this case. So I think it was really curious that Natalie Portman, her first movie produced by her, uh, was about this case, and it's really interesting. I highly recommend you to watch May December. It's really, 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 really it's an amazing movie actually. And she is also a ambassador of Dior. So she's been an ambassador of Dior since 2010, and she's still, I think she's one of the longest term ambassador of Dior, and I really, really enjoy it. I love Dior. And she also has a series of classes of acting in master class. I always wanted to have this, but since it's in dollars, I'm sorry, it's a bit expensive to me. But I thought that it's not that expensive, so I may try out because I'm really curious about these classes of acting by Natalie Portman because I think she's an amazing actress. And yes, and she also has a book club. I will let it linked below. And it's a book club literally where she starts reading these books and she talks about these books. And you can see on her bio on Instagram, but I let it down as well. And so she's always reading. You can see that her Instagram posts are basically all about reading. They're all about reading. She's always reading a new book. So you can see that this girl, she's smart. She's an intellectual, and they're not idiot books. Actually, are really interesting books about important people around the world, and. So first, to finish this video, uh, I want to kind of summarize everything I said. Natalie Portman is a great example for us women because she literally achieved, like really important things in life. She achieved the highest level that someone can achieve. And we have to admit that she may had many privileges around the way, but we cannot take off all the effort she put in this meantime. We have to recognize it, because if she had all the privilege but she wasn't talented, we have many Nepo babies to prove us that you can be a completely unuseful person even though you have privilege. But no, she's actually a good worker. She's a good student, and she can be an example for us of that even though we cannot achieve the same things as her. I want it, but unfortunately, I don't came from the same reality as her. Uh, we can take her as an inspiration to try, you know? No, always remember, I may not be perfect, but look, Natalie Portman, she pursued a degree. She didn't need to pursue a degree. She already was pretty famous when she got into a university, but no, she tried it because she valued education. And I have to say, look up how many actors we have out there that doesn't value education, that think that education is completely unuseful, that barely speak English, and is there acting, being millionaire, but no, Natalie, she is a successful person and she's a intelligent person. She pursued education even though she didn't need it, because there are many famous people out there that are like, I'm already rich, I'm already famous, I don't need it. No, but she says, even though you don't need it, it's not a word for us to not try. She tried, she studied, she got her degree at Harvard, you know so that's what is important, that even though you came from, a rich family, or from a family that you don't have many ambitions, no, try. Don't listen to what people are saying. Try it anyway. Get your education. Try to be the best at your work. That you only win doing that. So Natalie is an example for that. And I like to compare Natalie to Hedy Lamarr. I will make a video about her in the future on this series. It's like I think they're pretty similar. Of course, not equal, but they're pretty similar. They have similar pathways, where it's exactly that. They're pretty famous on a field that people don't value so much education, but they decided to be smart. They decided to pursue something more, So if you have Wi-Fi, if you have Bluetooth, it's because of Hedy Lamarr. So you can be a actress and be smart. You don't have to be dumb to be famous. You don't have to be dumb to be a good professional. No, you can be both. You can be both. And Natalie proves us that. And just a Easter egg, but I think that Emma Watson could be like that. I don't know what happened to her in this meantime, because I think that she's pretty reserved right now. But I really want to see her coming back in great acting roles, because she's smart. She's extremely smart, and I think she has a great talent to achieve that, And somebody's calling me, It's not a video of Natalie if someone doesn't call me. So Natalie is a good example first of someone who's is always trying new things, who is always trying her best, and I think she's a great woman. So she's a woman you should know. And I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye.